And the first one was, do you do a lot of voc rehab?
A little bit, yeah. I'm under voc rehab right now for the law school.
Oh, this is a side note.
Yeah.
I'm on voc rehab for my master's.
Okay, yeah.
But when I went in there, I said I wanted sports psychology, and he's like, here's 48 months, right? And I was like, man, that's great. That's going to take me through my doctorate. And some months later, I was talking to him. He's like, no. That's not how that works.
Right. Yeah, the moment you get that degree, you're done.
Okay. So the first question was, what new changes are occurring in the voc rehab program?
I haven't really seen any new changes, but one thing that I do see that comes from a lot of vets, especially in Los Angeles, is it gets harder for you to become a social worker.
Yeah.
And it gets harder for you to try to do acting or anything like in the film industry. Just because voc rehab doesn't believe that it's a sustaining job. And the thing with social work is that it's becoming incredibly flooded. With a lot of veterans are getting into social work. So that's another reason I believe that our generation's going to do something.
Yeah.
Whether it's just 4 of us that pop out of this whole community, somebody is going to do something pretty damn massive. But I think when it comes to the overall voc rehab, it really hasn't changed. I think it just gets harder where you're at. And when it comes to LA, you see a lot of guys wanting to do social work and film and television, and that gets harder to get approved. Yeah.
So the social work is getting harder to approve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I think that I've been giving the advice because of what I've been kind of going through, is that to put the occupation you want.
Right.
Right. And so that's how, because my buddy who asked me to ask some of these questions, he just got into USC.
Right.
In their social work program.
Yeah.
Because he wants to be a social worker, right? Not that he wants to get his bachelor's in psychology.
Right.
So that was the key benefit that helped him get to that point. But they're going to stop that. That's what you're saying.
No, if he's granted already.
Well, I'm saying in the future.
But yeah, like other guys, like if me and you try to jump in on it now, there's a good shot they would deny you. And the thing with the social work, especially for your buddy, is one, you could ask any social worker, a bachelor's degree means nothing in social work. Mm-hmm. You need a master's just to get your foot in the door. Mm-hmm. And so for him to get a job and voc rehab to help him get employment, he needs that master's degree. Where if you just say, I want to go back to school and learn some computer job or get a certificate, once you get that certificate, you're done.
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to pick something that's going to put you to a higher level. And that's one reason I did law. Was because I want to help out people and I don't want to be told how to do it or what to do, And so they helped me at that. And so that helped me because a bachelor's degree in law does nothing.
Yeah.
And so you have to get that juris degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still trying to figure out the second question. I wish I'd written it down. It was in passing. But it revolved around there being changes to the voc rehab program.
Yeah, I can't.
Come January.
I don't remember seeing anything come through. Anything when it came to voc rehab.
I have failed you, listeners.
I'm gonna have to look into it though. But from what I remember, I haven't seen anything really change with voc rehab. I think they're hiring more people because those guys are incredibly swamped. I think each voc rehab counselor around here has damn near 100 people.
Well, I think that's what that's what it revolved around. Something about
it's hard to get in contact with them.
Yeah, because it's so long in the whole process, and if you get sent back, then you're not going again. And
well, I think when it comes to that, the biggest thing is I always tell people, no matter what you're doing with the VA, try to do it in the morning and try to do it in person.
Yeah.
Because if you talk to the counselor in person and you become human, then it's easier to help that person. But if you're just some paperwork, then who cares about paper? And so I think that's the part of the problem when it comes to claims. It's easy to deny paperwork.
Yeah.
And it's hard to deny the dude when he's looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think when it comes to the VA is do it in the morning, do it in person, just bite your lip and go with the flow. Because I think once you get past 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I think you start to get lazy people, or you get people that got cussed out by a vet.
Yeah.
And so now you're just the next person who's gonna screw with me.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of closed up.
Yeah.
And so you want them when they're bright and early because they're gonna help you so you get out the door.
Yeah.
If not, you're gonna be standing there all day and now it's clogged.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you have better odds in the
Yeah, a
morning.
buddy of mine came to come see you a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
In fact, Rudy G. I call him Mayor Rudy. He's the one who actually told you about the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, man, Joe said he's going to be on the show. I was like, oh, great. And that's why I reached out.
Yeah.
But Rudy said, man, I was there because I told him what you told me. You have to be here like 5:15. Man, he said he was there like 5:15, and he said he was number 3 in line.
Yeah.
Waiting for you.
And that's not bad, really.
Yeah.
Like, he got lucky. That's one of the strangest things that I would have never guessed in a million years is, like, you get guys who get there really early to see me.
Yeah.
And I've gotten guys from other states and other countries, you know, like some of my vets live in like Australia. Like I have like one of my dudes like flew his father out, you know, to come to me. And so like it's hard when you see people like in building 4 and 5, you know, where they house veterans.
Yeah.
And they say like, oh, I can't get to you in time.
Yeah.
And you got like the Las Vegas Police Department coming to see me, you know, and you're like, if those dudes can make it, I think you could walk over here.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like, I'm thankful that people are appreciating what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I would have never guessed that in a million years that it would be like that, you know? And that's why I always tell guys, like, if say you're on that lower end of that list, you know, you go back, you go do what you got to do, take your kid to school, whatever, and come back. I won't cross you out, you know? But like, yeah, that is so strange. And like the hard part I have is like, I don't think my bosses really see the severity of the need, you know, because it's easy to say, oh, we do so many claims as a group and everything, but the pure need of when somebody has to wake up 3 a.m. just to get to me, and I get to work at 7, you know, like, I don't like it, but I understand it, you know, and I'm hoping like I could, that's my biggest desire, like I want to teach people how to do basic claims.
Yeah.
You know, like, the hard stuff.
But you have to understand, and this is in conversation.
Yeah.
Teaching people to do basic claims, you can teach 700 people.
Right.
Right? My buddy, I did a lot of work in Canada. A lot of work. Right? And I stopped working as a military contractor like 2 years ago. I haven't been in Canada since like, who cares? Long time.
Yeah.
My buddy still goes out there for work, and they're always like, how's Rob? Where's Rob? Rob should come up here, right? And so he and I talk, and he's like, man, it's really how people remember how you treat them.
Right.
Right? People remember that you made them feel good and that you care and you're compassionate, right?
Right.
You can teach 1,000 people how to fix a radar. You can teach 1,000 people how to write a claim. But it's who you are that keeps bringing them back, right? Like how this whole conversation first started, you know, word of mouth.
Right.
You know, you can't teach the genuine compassion that you have. And that's why, that's why I in this conversation right now, you know, we haven't had a conversation except I think we
like quick little like, in and out.
Hey man, are you going to be here tomorrow? Kind of thing. You know? And, other than that, you know, you're not my VSO.
Right.
You know, but people remember how you treat them, and they'll remember that forever and ever and ever. Yeah. And it's a testament to you. It's really an honor to, let me not use the word honor. I mean, maybe it's an honor to you, but it's really just a testament. It's a statement that speaks about who you are, and it's going to take you far. And maybe that's kind of going back to the coalition of, you know, merging the VSOs. Right. You know, they need the Dr. King type to come up and be humble and lead from the front. Right.
And no, I appreciate that. Yeah. Because, like, I do think it comes from, no matter what you do in life, I think it has to come from an honest perspective. Because I think when you see falseness, or if you even feel it, your body kind of tells you. Oh, yeah. You know? You, like, no matter if you're just talking to somebody on the phone, you know, for, like, customer service or whatever, if someone cares, you get it. And if they don't, you kind of feel that. And so I think you don't need to BS somebody and say, like, hello, sir, how can I help you today? Because, like, it's so
say generic. That with a smile.
You know, like,
they can hear your smile, Joe.
I bet. Because, I was at Enterprise the other day, and I was like, some dude answered the phone, and he said something like, you know, it's a beautiful day to work at Enterprise. And I'm like, you're full of shit. You know, like, like, come on,
you're
dude.
in credit card debt, you know. Yeah, like, it's raining outside.
You know, it's like, I can't do that. Like, I know your bosses want you to say stuff like that, but like, that's so disingenuous. Like, I think if you just answer the phone like, hey, what's going on? How could I help you?
Yeah.
Like, cool, man. Like, this is the dude I need.
Yeah.
But like, when you see that stuff, like, that's why I think with the suits, I think it's an idea. Like, when you wear a suit, you want to believe that you're on another level of status or something. And that proves your intelligence and proves your worth. And it's like, that's all BS, dude. Like,
yeah.
I really believe that your actions speak. Because I tell people I really am a shy dude. But let your actions speak. And people will see that and people will accept it, whether it's good or bad. Because if, like, say you pick on me, then I know, go left, you know?
Yeah.
And like I tell people all the time, maybe me and you disagree about every single thing across the board. But if me and you are coming from honest perspectives, I know if I ask you something, I'm going to get a true answer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a real, like, perspective of what this is. And at the very least, I could always respect that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just getting somebody saying, oh man, you're awesome, whatever, then you turn into like Kim Jong-un and don't, like, can't see reality for nothing. Like, and so, like, you got to, like, check yourself and, like, try to be true. You know, like I tell guys, like, no one's looking for saints, you know, like, we all have our flaws, but, like, just be real about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't be shy about what's going on in life, because when you start talking, then you see other people been there too, you know, and hopefully you find a guy who's been there 20 years ago and he could tell you what road to take.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what this is, right? Like,
yeah,
that, you know, the book was my story, but that's why I'm bringing other guys who've been down that road.
And it's just trying to make some effort, because, like, the same thing with, like, the little podcast I do is, like, we started it, like, we didn't really promote it at all. We still don't really promote it. But people find it and people look into it. Like, I had a lady, she was listening to it in Washington, D.C., where she was living. And then she moved down here to be with her son. And she looks at the little photo on the door in my office and she goes, you're that guy from that podcast. And you're like, what the hell? And so she was listening to it when she was filing her claim in D.C. And then she just happened to run into me here. You know, and you're like, who in the hell found that? Because, like, you could get people around here might find it, but somebody in another state, like, why would you care who I am? Mm-hmm. But, like, if one person gets something out of it, then cool, man. Mm-hmm. And, like, even if they say, like, oh, that podcast sucks, and so that encourages you to do a better one, I'm all about it. Mm-hmm. You know, like, handle it. But I really think, like, all those little bricks matter, because, like, even when you look at somebody like Beyonce, like, it has to be all these people before her for somebody to be this. Mm-hmm. You know, so she had to learn from everything behind her to get there.
It's funny you brought that up. You know? I talk to my wife all the time. I'm like, Beyonce owes everything to Destiny's Child. She just shat all over them. She just left them in the dirt and they're poor now. She's no, Kelly's doing. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's off topic.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like
1,000%. I know exactly what you mean.
Like, yeah, if it wasn't for, like, Little Richard, if it wasn't for, like, all these guys, then she wouldn't be as massive as she is.
Yeah, yeah.
But all those little bricks matter.
Yeah.
And so, like, maybe this is the podcast that blows up and everybody thinks it's bigger than Howard Stern, or maybe somebody says, I could do that 1,000 times better. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just, you do the best you can and hopefully somebody gets something out of it. Yeah. And that's the whole point of not anything we do in life. It's just one life. Yeah. That you have to touch. Right. 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 Because just like you were saying with the 15-year-old, you know, you're sending to college, or 15 years later, you get that heart surgery from, right. You know, it's like, man, thank God. Right. Thank God that I was there for that person. Yeah. And so, like, is it real? Am I really, like, just helping you, or am I helping myself? You know, like, so I don't think it's always, like, purely altruistic or anything. Like, I do think, like, when you help others, you certainly get something out of it, because I feel good when I go home. Like, even when, like, I've been denied, like, a higher position with the county a few times now. Like, I was joking with my wife saying, like, I'm like Jim Kelly. You know, like, you're there, but not good enough, you know? But, like, it doesn't bother me. You know, it doesn't hurt my feelings or nothing. I don't, like, resent, you know, anybody who, like, whoever made the final decision. I don't even know. Yeah. But, like, it's not, you know, like, it's not like when you lost that job at the wine. Yeah, well, that, oh, dude, to realize you lost to that guy, like, you know, like, oh, man. It's not like that at all. No. Like, that one, I think, like, the Gallo one sticks with me. You know, like, I'm not vindictive, but, like, gives me nightmares. Oh, I just want to know why. Like, what did I do? But, You know, like